particular protected forest and Belize to do further studies. But right now, speaking with some of the rangers and again, just some of the preliminary data, it's very possible that there's a parasite that's taking over the brain of some of the crocs that's increasing.
So you're telling me that we got zombie crocs in Belize? That's what I'm. That's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's studying the population's like, okay, yeah, there's like these maybe more aggressive crocs in the area, but it's like you're in the middle of the forest. There's jaguar, there's howler monkeys in the background. I mean, we would catch some crocs sometimes, so it's worth the risk.
So Marisa is the same person that, remember when I went to Belize and I told you guys I was camping, but the tents were leaking and I was in the rain for 3 days and we were surrounded by crocodiles and howler monkeys and tapir and jaguar and all those kinds of stuff. So I went to Belize to see Marisa, who runs the Crocodile Research Coalition there. And she's also a member of the CSG. And Marisa, you wouldn't know this, but we have conversations on the air lots about cannibalism. And I think of all the cast on the show, I'm the most likely to eat another human on the show.
She's the Army Hammer of our show.
I'm wondering if that might be parasite-induced cravings.
She's infected already.
Well, I mean, there's various ways to find out.
Is there a way to check it? Do you have to
take a bite of Ryan right now and see if it tastes good?
We're good. I'm very stringy.
Russ, did you have a question? I'm sorry, you were raising your hand earlier.
Yeah. I mean, just curious, we hear, of course, it's International Women's Day, and we hear a lot about, we have to get our young women interested in science and in math because a lot of young women, don't go that way because for whatever reason, maybe they haven't been told that this is something that, you could be interested in. Have you found it difficult being, a scientist in what usually is a male-dominated world? Have you had any, situations that have been difficult for you, or has it been fairly easy for you?
So overall, I think I've been pretty lucky. I definitely got hit with obstacles. I mean, I tell people this all the time. My first doctoral committee meeting, I'm talking about my project, working with crocs, catching crocs, and stomach flushing them for parasites. And one of my committee members, and I went to a tier 1 research university. And he goes, why don't you want to study something cute and fuzzy? Something more feminine.
Wow.
I was speechless, and I kind of took a moment because I was someone, when someone says something like that to me, I can't be silent. And so I just took a moment and I just said, these animals, crocodiles, they're strong, they're bold, they're persistent. Well, also they can be nurturing. I pretty much just described a woman, so how much more feminine can you get? It was like... and so I do hit some of those roadblocks, and I still do as well. Sometimes I get blindsided. I very much have been in meetings where I provide a suggestion, and 3 minutes later, my male colleague reiterates what I said, and they'll say, "Oh, that's a great idea. We should do that."
Right.
Said that.
Have you run into a lot of other women that are in your same field, other than Savannah, obviously? But I mean, are there a lot of other women that are in your field, and what was it like meeting Savannah for the first time? I'm just curious.
So I mean, honestly, like the last couple of years, and especially like this past year, I've gotten so many young female scientists or just young women just saying, Marisa, how did you do it? How have you been able to persevere in this career, and especially just constantly, sometimes you're climbing that ladder and you just get knocked down because you're a woman. And I'm pretty stubborn and strong-headed, and there's a part of me that I am willing to take as many knockdowns as it is to be able to open the door for the next generation, to make it easier. I'll be the punching bag. Let me go through it because I feel like I have a pretty strong personality.
Right.
I'm willing to take those knockdowns, open the door wider, because with more diverse ideas, more diversity, we can only further goals. So if you're into conservation, the more people with different backgrounds and ideas, the better that we're gonna, the easier it will be, or the more progress we'll see in furthering the path of conservation and actually building that bridge between nature and people.
So meeting Savannah, what was that like? Let's be honest.
Meeting Savannah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, the first time was in Belize, right? Like personally?
No, I think I met you at Croc-Fest when we were at Zoo Miami, and I wanted to
But
talk
come on, man.
Did you guys get that Crockfest t-shirt?
Y'all were so hammered during Croc-Fest. Are you kidding me? Nobody leaves Croc-Fest without a couple hazy memories, bro. It's Croc-Fest, man. It's freaking Croc-Fest. My
So
God.
we did go to Croc-Fest, and then I saw you there, and I think I'd seen you online before, and I was really excited to meet you, but you were so preoccupied the whole time. Like, I think I finally came up and grabbed you, and I was like, hey, can we just talk for a second?
I'm your new best friend. You gotta talk to me. I swear to God, we'll be best friends, and we'll just talk forever and ever. I'm in.
I think that was it. Yeah, it was just, I see Savannah with so much energy, and, you know, I was like, I just remember being at Crockfest, and I do remember being like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, hi.
She can be scary at times. That's
Yeah.
true.
Speaking of
Says the man
scary,
with
I
the
don't know if
painted
you
eyes.
looked at your face in the last few minutes, but your face looks really scary. So, Marisa,
Yeah, you
when
look like a serial killer
normally
crocodile.
when we do the show, I'm at home and not at the studio, and Russ does it from here. And so today he thought it would be really funny, since I'm hosting, that he would do a makeup tutorial and make that my makeup. But I didn't even wear green makeup today.
I think I look pretty sexy. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I guess.
Nice look. It's a nice look, Savannah. He might have some tips for you.
Yeah, I think he went a little too big with the eyebrows. I get it. I feel where you're coming from. And thank you so much, Marisa. Tell people
Thank
where
you.
they can find you. We got to go to break real quick. Where can they find you?
So you can find us on social media on the Crocodile Research Coalition, my nonprofit. You can also find me on Instagram at CrocParasites13, on Twitter, Facebook. If you have any questions about Crocs or being in a career of science, please don't hesitate to call me or message me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling us. And we will be right back with the next segment. And I don't know what it's going to be because I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. Man, is that was.